Hello, guys. Let's dive into 7 hilarious moments that actually happened. Once upon a time in 1896, the British Empire was sipping tea and minding its business when Zanzibar got a new sultan who wasn't exactly their cup of tea. The Brits told the new guy, "Sorry, old chap, you're not approved. Step down or we'll be very upset." The new sultan replied, "Number." So, at exactly 9:02 a.m. on the 27th of August, 1896, the Royal Navy said, "Fine, have it your way," and started bombing the palace. They were super efficient. By 9:40 a.m., the Sultan had fled through the back door, his guards surrendered, and the war was over. Duration? 38 minutes. That's shorter than a pizza delivery in traffic. Casualties? Around 500 on Zanzibar's side. British side, 1 sailor sprained his back. The British then installed their preferred sultan, made a note in the diary, and probably went back to tea. And that's how the shortest war in history went down more of a loud British no than an actual war. It was a sunny day in 1807. Napoleon Bonaparte, the mighty conqueror of Europe, decided to take a break from wars and enjoy a little rabbit hunting party with his generals. Just some light shooting to unwind. So he ordered his men to prepare a grand hunt. And boy, did they prepare. They gathered hundreds, maybe even thousands of rabbits. Except plot twist, they didn't catch wild rabbits. They bought tame, cuddly, chubby pet bunnies from farms. The moment Napoleon arrived, and the cages were opened, the rabbits didn't run away. They ran toward him. Dozens, hundreds furry little balls of cuteness charging like Napoleon's own cavalry. They thought it was feeding time, not fleeing time. Napoleon tried shooing them. The bunnies kept coming. He ran. They chased him. Generals swung their hats. Bunnies attacked their boots. Napoleon, Emperor of France, defeater of nations, was forced to retreat to his carriage under full-scale bunny assault. It was the softest, most adorable military disaster in history. And from that day forward, one thing was clear. Napoleon could handle armies, but he could not handle bunnies. Let's rewind to the 4th of July, 1850. The U.S. was celebrating Independence Day. Fireworks, flags, full-on patriotism. And President Zachary Taylor was loving it. He was hot, sweaty, and in the mood to party, with snacks. So he helped himself to a mountain of treats. Cold milk, iced watermelons, and lots of cherries. Possibly also a few suspiciously rich cookies. What could go wrong? Well, everything. Within hours, the president was sick as a dog. Severe stomach cramps, fever, chaos. Doctors rushed in with cutting-edge 1850s medicine, which mostly meant guessing and hoping. They tried bleeding, purging, and more bleeding. Yes, that was real. It didn't help. 5 days later, Zachary Taylor died. Official cause? Acute gastroenteritis. Unofficial cause? He ate like it was the Last Supper. Some say it was poison. Others say it was just a deadly combo of cherries plus warm milk plus 1800s hygiene. Either way, the lesson is clear. Even presidents can fall to fruit and dairy. So picture this. It's 1828. In Mexico City, things are chaotic. Revolutions, riots, and apparently angry mobs smashing up bakeries. One unlucky French pastry chef, a guy who just wanted to make eclairs and go home, had his shop looted by Mexican officers and rebels. His cakes? Gone. His tarts? Smashed. His dignity? Baked. He demanded compensation from the Mexican government. They said, "Non, monsieur, Well, technically they said no in Spanish. So what did he do? He went straight to the King of France, Charles X, and said something like, "Sire, I demand justice for my poor croissants." And the king? He didn't laugh. He said, "Justice shall be served with cannons." And boom! In 1838, France sent warships to blockade Mexico and bomb their ports. Over one French bakery. It lasted a few months, until Mexico agreed to pay 600,000 pesos for the bakery damages. That's one expensive eclair. And voila, that's how the Pastry War happened. A war triggered not by gold, land, or power, but by cake. It's 1932. Australia's farmers have a problem. No, not the heat, not the drought. Giant, angry emus, thousands of them. These overgrown, flightless feather rockets were stomping through wheat fields like they owned the place. So what did the Australian government do? Call in pest control? Nope. They sent the military, with machine guns. Enter Major G.P.W. Meredith, leading soldiers versus emus. And guess what? The emus won. The birds ran too fast. They zigzagged like Olympic sprinters. They took bullets and kept running like nothing happened. At one point, the gun jammed, and the emus just casually walked off, probably laughing in bird language. They even split into strategic bird squads, flanking the soldiers. It was like a feathery guerrilla war. After several weeks, hundreds of rounds fired, and maybe a dozen emus down, the army gave up. Yes, Australia lost a war to birds that can't even fly. The emus kept the land. The farmers kept the trauma. And the army? Probably kept it quiet in their resumes. In the Middle Ages, Europe had some creative ideas about justice. You know, burning witches, trial by fire, and sometimes putting animals on trial. Yes, actual trials, with lawyers, for animals. And the most famous case? A pig. In France, 1386, a pig was accused of murder. Apparently, it had mauled a child, most likely by accident, but who needs facts? So, what did the villagers do? Call animal control? Nope. They arrested the pig, put it in a real jail, gave it a public trial, and even assigned a lawyer to defend it. The trial went like this. Judge: did the pig knowingly commit murder? Lawyer: Your Honor, my client oinks in innocence. Pig: oinks dramatically. Witnesses gave emotional testimony. The pig? Saturday there like, I just wanted some snacks, man. In the end, the court found the pig guilty of murder and sentenced it to death by hanging, just like a human criminal. And so it was. They hung the pig in public to send a message. Crime doesn't pay, even if you have hooves and a curly tail. Ah, yes, the Middle Ages, when pigs had lawyers, and people didn't have common sense. Let's rewind to the 4th of July, 1850. The U.S. was celebrating Independence Day. Fireworks, flags, full-on patriotism. And President Zachary Taylor was loving it. He was hot, sweaty, and in the mood to party, with snacks. So he helped himself to a mountain of treats. Cold milk, iced watermelons, and lots of cherries. Possibly also a few suspiciously rich cookies. What could go wrong? Well, everything. Within hours, the president was sick as a dog. Severe stomach cramps, fever, chaos. Doctors rushed in with cutting-edge 1850s medicine, which mostly meant guessing and hoping. They tried bleeding, purging, and more bleeding. Yes, that was real. It didn't help. 5 days later, Zachary Taylor died. Official cause? Acute gastroenteritis. Unofficial cause? He ate like it was the Last Supper. Some say it was poison. Others say it was just a deadly combo of cherries plus warm milk plus 1800s hygiene. Either way, the lesson is clear. Even presidents can fall to fruit and dairy on a hot day.